Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Manthan with a Mystic. So, as we have been informing you, like um, this is the last episode which will be on all the platforms. From next time onwards, every Wednesday, 8 p.m., we will be only on YouTube. तो आपसे आशा करती हूँ कि आप YouTube पे नोटिफिकेशन क्लिक कर लीजिए और YouTube पे हमें देखिए. We will now start the session without too much of other discussion. Sir, I have a question from Anita Sharma, and we will also today analyze how and how you can use this nectar. How you can use this nectar in your life. आप कैसे इसको use कर सकते हैं, ये भी हम इनसे आज समझेंगे. बिकॉज बहुत लोगों ने मुझे कहा कि वो बताते हैं, हमें समझता है, लेकिन हम इसको यूज कैसे करें. सो वी विल decode that also. Sir, Anita Sharma says, why is it that in the beginning of a relationship, we have a very enthusiastic approach? Later, the same relationship becomes a pain, as if we are dragging the relationship. What? How do we decode this?
What a wonderful question. First of all, greetings for the festival, Diwali, New Year, Bhai Dooj. It's been a wonderful time and festival of light. May the light be, may you recognize your light within. So first thing first, in the initial stage of the any relationship, you put your best foot forward. You want to show everything good that you have. And both the people are doing the same things. Any relationship for that matter. Maybe a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, first time they're meeting, or any love relationship, or any kind of relationship, be it professional. And as it gets tested in the time, then your own true self, which you're suppressed within, that comes up. And all the pain that we have suppressed within is reflected in the other person. And other person also reflects the same pain which you reflect. So then it becomes a very painful relationship. And especially it becomes very interesting when you cannot move away from that relationship. Some relationship you can immediately stop, you can stop relating, but there are some which is not possible for you to get out of it. And that is where you need to focus on uplifting yourself. Getting rid of the pain is by recognizing the pain is not created by somebody else, it is your own pain which is reflected in the relationship as if we are seeing the mirror. So it's an opportunity for you. Any pain in the relationship is an opportunity for you to deal with your own self. When I say deal with your own self, this is again, there is nothing, in reality, the pain does not exist. The pain exists only in the mind. Pain exists only in your imagination. When you say that yes, there is a pain, how can I imagine this as a pain? But look at yourself. I think you need to do something about this.
Excuse me 1 second.
Just wait, she'll be back. Yeah, great.
Sorry for that little interruption. Yeah.
So it is very important that Any pain or pleasure that we have is all in our imagination. When you compare with something, you get pain. Either you compare with your past, you compare with a memory or the belief that you have got at this should be like this. Apart from any physical pain, all pain are imaginary. Physical pain also, it is possible to get rid of it if you tap into your own self. You know, you must have seen the cricketers or the sports person playing their best in the injury times. How is it possible? But once the game is over, once they won, then it becomes, the pain becomes heightened. So, what was that taking away pain at that time when they were performing? So, when you get into that inner trance, or in technical terms, it is a gamma state where your frequency is very high. See, in the different states that we have the delta frequency, then we have alpha frequency, when we have theta frequency. Theta is almost 4 to 6 hertz. Then it then we go to sleep. That's a delta frequency. But the highest frequency is the gamma frequency. Gamma is a very heightened state. So in the heightened state, you will not feel the pain, no matter what, because you are absolutely in that moment, in that reality. So whenever you access to your memories, whenever you access to your beliefs, then pain becomes inevitable. So in the relationship, it is an opportunity to get rid of the imaginary ideas that we carry. So our point was that what are the pain? And if you look at psychologically, where is the pain? Pain is here. Pain is created here. Okay. So it has to be solved here. It cannot be solved outside. As simple as that. Next.
Right. So the whole answer, I mean, to put it in a nutshell, is that you need to actually reflect within. The pain is inside, it's not outside. You keep searching it outside, and it will not be possible. Hi, Surbhi. I got your question. When will you buy a house in Pune? This is not a reading session. Reading session will be on Friday in Sri Talks, they'll say. This is Manthan with a Mystic, wherein we solve your life, your problems, life. We have live solutions to your problems, which you can talk about. This can be spiritual questions, this can be practical questions, it can be relationship questions. So, reading is not happening today. I'm sorry to disappoint you on that, but you can connect to me on Friday in Shri Talks. So, the next question is, what does death mean? How does one accept death? And how do we realize that we are dying?
How do we realize that we are dying?
The moment death comes.
See, death only means that you cease to be in the body. That does not mean anything. And there are, you see, the nature has so beautifully created such wonderful state. And I can explain in a very three simple example of or your experiences that you already have of death. Every day we experience death. Every day we experience, every minute we experience death. If you focus, you will experience death. Death is overcoming attachments. Death means there is another way of expression. I shall explain each line. Death means we are changing the mode. Death means we are transiting into a different reality. So when does it happen with human being? On two occasions. First, it happens when you go to sleep and you get up in the morning. You may feel you are the same person, but at that time you go and touch that core of yours, the consciousness, the original self from that you have derived from. You just carry same memories, you just carry the same beliefs, but actually you are not the same person. And secondly, when you take the breath. So after every breath, suppose you take a breath and you leave the breath. In between there are two phases which comes, which is a gap. In that you don't breathe. It's just the breath turns around. Now that moment from one breath to the another breath is like one life for the soul. The similar way, the soul or that energy which is taken the form in this body and which is operating in this body that touches the same night and comes back. So similarly, as it said in Gita, like we change the clothes, the soul changes the body. It is as simple as that. But on experiential level, if you are aware about your breath, if you are 100% aware about the sleep and getting up in the morning, and remember that you are not the same person. Everything about you is transformed because you have gone and touched the core of yours. And if you can remember the journey of your sleep, that is why the Patanjali said, or the, you know, on all avastha, like Jagrut, Susupti, Swapna, you are awake. You are aware about your sleep also. Now to experience this, you need to learn to be aware about everything that you experience. The awareness starts with the small sensory experiences that you get. Like if I'm taking the breath, if I'm taking the breath, you are aware about the every second, every breath that you take, and both breaths are different with respect to the speed, with respect to the depth, with respect to the temperature. It is different. So if you experience this and you are aware about that, the same awareness will expand into your sleep. Now there is another way of being aware. The second way of being aware is you are aware about every sensory experience that you have in the body. And all sensory experience culminated in the body's feeling, how the body feels. At the time when you are listening to me, there are simultaneously four senses are operating. So being aware about all five senses, you cannot be aware about all five senses at one go. Start practicing each sense at a time. For example, you are you are being aware about auditory sense. Then once you master that sense, you add on to the another sense. that you are kinesthetic, that is whatever feeling that you have in the body, you being aware about that feeling. Slowly you get aware about the vision that you get. That is visions in the mind. Okay. Then the taste, then the scent, the smell, and you are aware about all together at once. That's the sense. That's about being aware. So if your awareness is expanded into all aspects, you will notice. In the meditation, it has been said, Shri, that you just be aware about the breath. In that awareness, you get the complete awareness of everything. So just being aware about the breath can give you can deep dive into something. Then you will realize that there is somebody within us who is just witnessing everything. It's just being there. And that is the same thing which is experiencing your senses. That is the same thing which is experiencing all your experiences together. You are not different from that. You are, that is the whole of you. And that is where the shift happens. Death is also recognized as the fear of losing, fear of losing your attachments, that you will not get an opportunity. But trust me, if you are not, if you are out of this body and you can experience out of, see, there are various ways in which we can experience out of body experiences. We can astrally experience, go out of your body. It's a simple technique that you don't require to do a lot of things about it. Okay. In the night, we go out of the body. So that is where, if you realize that aspect of you, then you will never ever fear death.
So it is beautifully crafted and sculpted and put it in a kind of perfect scenario that you need to be aware. You need to be aware of even your breath. I mean, that is the key. That is the beginning to understand. And there's nothing like fear of death. Death is actually the reality. That's how it has to be put. I guess I could explain a bit of what the mystic was trying to say. I have another beautiful
And I
question here.
before you ask a question, I have one small thing to say. It is a different, death is not end. Death is a
A
different
beginning.
perspective to look at the life. Yeah,
So,
this is a human perspective. That's a spirit perspective. After the death, the perspective you have is a spirit perspective of life.
so you are able to see from a different perspective. So it's all about how we look at the stages of life. That's wonderfully said. There's a connection to this question. It This is Rajiv Kera. He says, "I have been listening to people always saying that we need to go back to our home. We need to go back to the divine. We need to connect back to the divine. If that is our home, why are we sent back here? If that is where we have to go, what is the meaning of coming here and suffering?"
Well, I there are two parts of this question. The basic question is, why are we sent here? That's a one simple question. Now, the second question is of suffering. Suppose this consciousness is all that exists. For example, same way, if only light is there, or if only dark is there, then what happens?
You won't be able to identify what is
Then
what.
there is no experience. So one day, the consciousness decided to explore itself. So if the darkness wants to experience a darkness, how can it experience a darkness? Suppose not you. I'm saying that darkness wants to experience what it feels like to be dark, and how that darkness will experience. How does
Um,
the light experience that I am the light?
Contrast.
It has to go, yeah, it has to create the contrast. So a united self created the division so it can experience the oneness. Without that contrast, it is not possible to experience. That is why we have been sent here, so that we can experience the separation and then we unite, and that completes the cycle of experience, that completes the cycle of experiencing oneself. That is not we are experiencing oneself, that's the consciousness through us experiencing the oneself. So what it feels like to, I am divided and then I'm reuniting myself. That's the only way to experience fullness.
And the second part of the question is suffering.
Suffering, there is no suffering in this. There is absolutely no suffering. Suffering is here. Suffering is here. So when, how can I say this? It is not that as in a human form I have not experienced suffering. I have experienced suffering in the human form. But when I go to the, the consciousness, so when I go to the state of that oneness, there is no suffering. It is a joy when the soul departs from here and says, okay, I'm done with this and I want to. So it goes to the council and soul dances and says, no, I want to go and have a human experience again. Send me fast. And then the council says, wait, you need to wait sufficiently here. Because soul cannot advance and cannot progress at the speed at which it advances and experiences here. So
Very,
these are the two.
very beautifully articulated and put it in a, perfect. Like, just if you are able to just make a note of this, and there is no suffering. This is just everything is here. The moment you decide that you want to come out of it, it will just take a moment. You can do it by yourself or you can do it with the help of a mentor.
I'll give you a
Beautiful.
couple of examples. There is no mentor required. Okay, I'll just give you a couple of examples. Okay, very simple thing. Tell me any five sufferings, Sri, from your perspective.
Any five?
Sufferings.
Suffering. Okay. Um, like as I get some questions, people suffer in a bad relationship. People suffer when they don't
Wait,
have
wait, wait.
enough money.
No, no, I'm not talking about people. I said, give me your example. What is suffering to you? Give me five examples as if you are suffering.
Uh, Five examples. Okay. Um, like sometimes there is a possibility that I could feel that okay, even being in in a field of spiritual growth and spiritual path, still there are times that I do sometimes do feel, and I don't have. I mean, I'm ready to accept that. Yes, I feel that okay, I don't have this, and I mean, it would be different if I had this particular thing, be it.
Hold on, hold on. The beginning of the suffering happens from where? With an idea that you should have this.
Ah, that's
If there is no
that's the next step.
comparison, if there is no comparison, there is no suffering. You have preconceived notion that ऐसा होना चाहिए. अगर ऐसा नहीं है तो वो दुख क्रिएट करता है आपके लिए.
I will request to differ you. You have been saying time and again that we are here to experience a human experience. So this is a part of an emotion. So isn't it an experience?
Then it is exactly an experience. So it is you are experiencing things. What happens that you become that suffering? No, you are not suffering. You are experiencing something. If you experience this particular one suffering, it will never ever be the part of your soul journey.
So it's like the thing has to be as an experience. Like okay, this particular soul in this body experienced this particular kind of suffering. So it's not my suffering. It's just an experience for the soul to know. Isn't it getting too complicated? Can you simplify
Oh
for
no,
my
no.
darshan?
You are confused. You are too much of a confusion in this. Okay, make it very simple. Make it very simple. Okay, if you have a suffering in the relationship, like it's a breaking relation, you feel somebody is gone, but the idea comes from the where that you have to be with that person only. If that attachment is there, then the suffering will start if he is going. So now for that, somebody is departing is an experience. Now if you have fully experienced this, once this experience is over, you will never feel a suffering ever in any relationship till you exist in this body. What happens that we do not realize, we do not experience that, and it keeps on occurring till the time you realize.
So don't you feel it is more easier said than done? How
No, it is
can a
more
person
in,
do this?
if you look at from that perspective, it is more easier than to do
See, you are an
than to
evolved
do
soul. You are an evolved soul. How do I explain this to a common? I mean, to a normal person? I mean, it's like just reading off a book. How do we get the person into that space of acceptance?
listen. There is no distinction as evolved and non-evolved. All souls are evolved. You just need to realize that you are an evolved soul. However the soul is, in whichever condition the soul is, it is evolved because it has come from the journey, like many lives, many situations. So we can never say that it's a new soul. It is not an evolved soul. All souls are evolved, and all the experience of all souls are in the cloud. And all, whichever new soul comes also, which selects from the cloud, that is the memory, collective memory of the consciousness, that is accesses and tells, okay, what is the new experience that I want to have. That is why year after year you see, is it going to be, giving an example of India, is it now after 200 years, is it India likely to be, ruled by somebody else, non, know, like a slave? Never. That experience is over for that consciousness. We had an experience of king ruling us, then we had now a democracy. It's just an experience on the larger canvas. And the world is changing too fast. I must tell to these people that you have to internally move very fast.
Beautiful. Excellently explained. And no, I wish that all of you just understand this and pick this line that once that experience is over, you will not be repeating that experience again.
Ever in your
Because
life.
ever in your life. So once you completely like it's you don't go back to KG once you're in MBBS, right? So
So the choice is have a repeated suffering experience or understand the suffering for once and be free of it forever.
beautiful. You will not keep learning ABCD again. You have already learned it. So this is how you have to take it from that space and move ahead. Just experience it completely, and you will never have that suffering again. So there's another beautiful question. I think it's linked to the same question. This goes as this is Suparna. She says, "Why do people fall sick? Is there a deeper reason for this?"
Yeah, it's very, very, very easy. See, this question, for me, it is very, you know, it's it is the most
It's
simplest question.
a nursery question for you.
No, 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 no. I respect the question. I respect the question. But it has two sides to it. Let us understand both sides. Okay. Then there is something Aruna has written. We'll have to take it up after this question.
She just says, "Wow, what an answer." She's in
Okay,
awe.
thanks. Thanks. So now, very simple thing about the.
Why do people fall sick? Is there a deeper reason for this?
So that is one side we will discuss. You fall sick only if you disconnect with yourself and the divine
Oh,
energies that is flowing through you. That means you need to reconnect with your own self. So it is a dis-ease. Dis-ease. So you are that ease within you is dislocated. Dis-ease. From the dis-ease, you have to come to the ease. That means somewhere in your thought you are not aligned. That means what is the biggest challenge of these days? I will explain one side and then I will tell what are the challenges that we have in understanding this. That can only complete the question answer. The answer can never be completed. The second aspect of this is about your thought process. It's the way you are internally, uh, interpreting or looking at the perspective of the life. It says your way of looking at the things. You need to realign. That is what disease says to you. So, if you ask me, it is a guiding force to put your life in the right perspective. पटरी से उतर गई गाड़ी को ठीक पटरी पे लाना है तो हमें डिस को समझना है ये दिस इज वन पॉइंट ऑफ देयर इज अ सेकंड पॉइंट ऑफ दिस before I go to the second point let me explain why we have challenges we have a belief these days that our disease can be only cured by the doctors and medicines and it has become like a star in the or the medal that how bigger doctor you have been to how bigger is your disease how bigger is the suffering which is the biggest hospital you have been to how have you been able to get the claim from the insurance
like a
and
style statement.
this is this is the it has become a status symbol in the mind. This says that how much you have deviated from your life path. The second perspective to this question is, which is very, very crucial to understand. And there where the difficulty comes in understanding the movement of the consciousness. So let me ask this question very clear. Do you remember a disease called plague? करंट जनरेशन में किसी को प्लेग के बारे में पता है? Plague was a disease. I think it was before
Choohe
19.
rat or something. The rat thing. Na?
या उससे फैलता था, रेड से डिजीज फैलती. इट वाज वे बैक इन आई थिंक 30s 40s में ज़्यादा था. It came and it is out from the consciousness,
Eradicated. I want to say.
eradicated. Was HIV ever there before some time? No. It just came and we are experiencing this. So the different disease is also an experience of the consciousness. And we, the consciousness itself, finds a solution through the new innovations, through the medicines, through the new techniques. And the same disease, then it is a challenge. Like a cancer, it was fatal before some time, before some years. Now it is possible for us to survive all the type of cancers. And actually, cancer happens in the body only with the two reasons. You have deep rooted hurt and you are nurturing that hurt within. So it is from the consciousness perspective, you need to overcome your hurt. So till the hurt remains, the disease will remain. Once you, on the larger canvas, if we overcome the hurt, and from the consciousness, the cancer will go away.
Wonderful.
So the point here is, are you carrying the hurt within? Get rid of it now, before it becomes a cancer. And the second aspect is the way you treat the world. That is how your body, it will reflect in your body. Everything that you do with the consciousness opposite to you, whosoever you feel, that will come back onto you on your body. You may not see, you may not have done in this life. A few days before, I had a wonderful conversation with my beloved friend Suresh Padmanabhan. Now, he narrated me a beautiful experience of him. And I think this is an experience which all the questions till now that you have given me, this is an experience that you must, it's an answer to everything, all the questions. Okay. He said, I watched a video on YouTube where a very small man has innovated something and put it on the YouTube. And somebody had copied this and used it commercially in a big way. So there was no credit, there was no money, there was no fame for this person. And he said, I just felt very sorry about this person. But when I was feeling sorry, his words, when when Suresh Padmanabhan was feeling sorry about this, he said, why am I connecting to this energy? Why am I feeling sorry about it? He wanted to shift from that perspective. What is what one thing that I can do? So then he realized that what अगर इसका कुछ चोरी हुआ है आज, what if he has done the same thing in the past with somebody else in some light, and now it is getting balanced? So the one point is, in the universe everything is getting balanced. In the second, we say the moment I realized. So where was the problem? The problem was in mind. And how can it be solved? Only in the mind.
So it's a simple step to move from dis-ease to ease. And that is where you
Everything.
will find
eh,
things.
You
That
you
is where
ask
you
the
will find
relationship question.
balance.
You ask the relationship question. You ask on a death question. Everything is here, and anything can be changed. Which is created here can be changed here. As simple as that.
Okay. We have two questions lined up actually. One was
Yeah.
Aruna's question, which says, why do we have aches and pains after you cross 40? So again, it's here. Age is just
No,
a number.
every see as per the Louis Hay. Okay, heal your body, heal your mind. The authority on this subject, because she cured the cancer. There is one another lady, Barbara Ice, I think. She has
Barbara.
written a book called Journey. She has also overcome the cancer. It's a phenomenal. I mean, both have achieved phenomenal things. Barbara though had a cancer of a baseball size in the stomach, and she actually bought the time from the doctor. Doctor said urgent operations. She said, I will cure it. How much time do I have? Doctor said 30 days. And in 30 days, she dissolved the tumor. Not completely, more than 80%. So after that, doctor gave her the time. But 80% of the tumor of baseball size was dissolved just by working here and the here, food intake.
Yeah,
So there are two simple things. And according to me, the food intake is also reflecting your consciousness. So
beautiful. Yeah,
everything is here. One of my my
friend.
one of the guru which my wife introduced to me, uh, he was to say in Swaminarayan Hari Prasad Swami, he used to say only one thing: हमें इतने पे ही काम करना है, इतने पे ही काम करना है, बस. All that we need to work, only this much portion, nothing else. ये अगर
This
शुद्ध कर दिया तो सब कुछ शुद्ध है.
this reminds me of a book that I had actually. I mean, I had been given a gift by a friend of mine. Ageless Body, Timeless Mind. It's a very beautiful book.
That's again a phenomenal work by
It's
Deepak
a
Chopra.
phenomenal book. So it's an ageless body, timeless mind. Once you start understanding that book, it's really pretty. We have another
So
beautiful question from
answer. Let me answer Aruna's final point.
yeah, aches
See,
and pains after 40.
so what is pain? What is aches and pain? It is nothing but every pain is your guilt.
It's a guilt.
Yeah, body pain in any part, every pain is nothing but guilt that you feel you have done something wrong. Actually, there is nothing wrong. It is your feeling. See, the life moves on, naturally, but you have an idea about the life. Because of that, you feel a guilt.
This could also be like environment and conditioning. Like a lot of people keep saying that as you grow old, things happen.
These are the beliefs we carry. How about the people living a very wonderful life at the age of 102? You remember, Shri, we had been to Nasik. I mean, Shirdi. There
Shitty, yeah.
we have met a Guruji
100
which is
and
110 years old,
150,
115 years old,
15
and he
years.
was hale and hearty.
Uh,
So
my dad my dad lived a wonderful 80, 85 years, perfect, no ailment, nothing. So It's how, and he
So
used
it
to
is just
always believe, he used to
it is
always believe that everything is normal, everything is fine. We used to get panicked. He was like, no, everything is normal, everything is okay. He's a gem of a person. You met him.
for once you just decide, for the once you decide that this pill which I'm popping up is not going to, it's just a temporary relief, it's not cure. Once you realize that I need to cure myself, this is what you will thrive at. If you work
Uh,
on this, we say we take it for the granted these conditions.
okay. I don't know whether I
Can
should
you
say this, but
can
I'm
you
dread.
can you think about that and jump over it and just for once decide that I want to get rid of this pain for all, once for all, whatever it takes,
Hmm.
whatever it takes. You accept. First of all, you make a style statement about this. You show it as it is a medal. Stop doing this.
Yeah.
Take a
I
challenge with
remember
your.
you. I
Take a
remember you
challenge with.
saying that flashing your pain card always, like as if it's your credit card or your debit card. So stop flashing that pain card, like, I'm suffering from this and suffering from that.
No, it
And
is not. It is not debit credit card. It is your FD that you feel that you are flashing.
oh, step ahead. It's very beautifully explained by the mystic. I hope you've got your answer. Please focus on this and make a decision from today, like this moment. आज का नया साल है. What else can be a better day to realize that I need to just step out of this pain?
So what does it mean when you say I want to stop out? That means you need to change everything about your life, which is creating the pain. Everything, your food intake, your daily routine. That is what our fixation is. That we don't want to change anything, and we want change.
Beautiful. Okay. I have another question from Gayatri. She says, how can I move on from people who don't deserve me? I'm confused between being gracious and self-preservative, like self-preservation.
First of all, being gracious and self-preservation. These are your own comparisons you have given it to yourself. First of all, drop both these comparisons. It is not needed. Okay. There is only one comparison. How do you feel with the person? And can you feel that independently without that person?
Oh,
Can you make it as simple as that? Because that feeling was given by somebody, and you are capable of generating that feeling with yourself because it is all about your own feelings. He is just facilitating. So, a facilitator can be anybody else. Are you open? And that is the memory of that feeling. So, if you feeling, read the question again, and I will just point out the
how can I
when
move on from people who don't deserve me? I am confused between being
so
gracious
again
and
you are just a minute. Again, you are deciding who deserves you. You have to decide: do they deserve the space in my life? It is you who decide. You do not give that power to anybody. Never ever
awesome.
give that power. So first line is very clear. This what is the second? How can I move? You just move by you deciding it, not you giving that lever into somebody else's hand. Second, the second line.
I'm confused between being gracious and
So
self-preservation.
I already told you that the comparison itself is not about graces. So thank the person for giving the experience that the person has given you. And okay, I'm ready for the new experience
Correct. Like
because
exactly.
you see the attachment comes with the person because you want to have that experience again and again and again and again. Okay. Now let me give you let's understand. You like sugarcane juice. You just go to the sugarcane man and you just drink it. Okay. So now you decide that okay, I want to have that experience again. You go to again the same sugarcane person. You go repeatedly the same person, the same drink, the same everything. And after a few days, he is no more. He is not there. You will find another sugarman guy. You will have the same experience of the sugarcane. So what is important is your experience and not the person who is giving you an experience.
Awesome. So, could I sum it up like who
So
has the steering of your life?
our idea is only this person can give me this experience. That is where you have to. You are capable of creating that experience for yourself.
So
You
it's
have
like
given that experience to the other person. He should miss you, not you should miss him.
who has the steering of your life, isn't it?
The steering is always with you. Do not give
So
somebody else
we
to
give it
drive
to
your car.
somebody, and then we meet with accidents, and then we say accidents happened.
And okay, the simplest way is to now this may sound very bizarre, always just remember all the things about that person. Maybe it is female, male, whatever it is. I don't know. Whatever the not good part with him, because in the relationship there are always good and the bad, according to you. So all that experience of not so good experiences, accumulate those experiences and see that person in that light. It won't be that difficult for you to live.
Okay. Aruna says she feels attacked. I mean, I don't know what was that. Anyways, maybe it's just a little bit of funny bone that she's got tickled. Okay, I have. Should we pick up this question? Do we have time?
Go ahead, go ahead.
I have one question, which is from quite. I mean, this is quite a famous person. I mean, he's
Aruna is saying
supposed
something.
to be.
Aruna is saying something.
No, that was not. Okay, okay. I don't know. Okay, that was just a. It's just a joke, I guess, over there. What should I choose? God or money? Wow. Why do you need to choose?
Okay. Hold on. Who said to you the God is not there in the money?
You have perfect answer and you are like that, like अभी जैसे चल ही रहा है ना दिवाली चल रही है तो you are like putting the arrow at the perfect place. Exactly. Who said
किसने
money is
कहा
not?
पैसे में भगवान नहीं है? किसने कहा ऐसा? ये आइडिया ही कहाँ से आता है? Where does this
Uh,
idea? Because the
काफी
money comes to you
हम्म,
only and only if
because
you if you express yourself and you touch the
okay,
people's life. Unless you touch people's life, the money only comes from the people, and it will come only through the people. And only if you touch people's life, that means you are touching the God in them. And you being the God, you express yourself. That is how you get money.
okay, so I guess you got the answer. Like everything has God in it. So, sir, I have a very strange question. Um, this person says, how do we change our success or failure?
Yes, it's a very good question.
Okay,
Successively, this person is failing.
okay.
He says, successfully, I am failing.
This is how
So,
do we change our success or failure?
so I only say, fail your success.
Could you elaborate on this? Or
Because what success he says is the failure, correct? He is very
yeah, and
successful in creating the failures.
failures.
I
So
say
now
fail
he
in
has
creating that
to
success.
now he has to fail creating that success so he
Yes.
can create the other side.
Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly.
how beautifully explained. Should we
So
go ahead with
what?
the other question, or we move ahead to the
So
next
your
episode?
see your ability to create an experience can be changed.
Okay.
You have the ingredient is very simple. If you continue to do the same thing in the same way, you will create the same experience.
So here you want to say that there are a bunch of people who like to be said that हाँ बेचारे वो तो नहीं कर पाएगा, नहीं कर पाएंगे, उनके
If
साथ तो
we
ऐसा ही
go,
होता है.
see, that is a people's perspective. I don't want to get into that people's perspective. I'm talking about an individual. Okay, for a successful tennis star, okay, repeatedly he creates a victory and victory and victory, and that has become his habit. The football player, repeatedly you will see that they create the success. So the
So
creation, the expression of creation is within oneself.
so so you can create your success. If
Okay.
you are creating
Okay.
your failure, you can definitely create your success.
It is your own, it is the what you have been doing. It's an output, input, output. So if this is your output, and now again a label that you have created that as label as failure. Can you change the label as an experience? If you term this if you label this as a failure, then you are doing what you are doing is you are fixing it.
Okay.
You are not making something which can be changed. If you say it's an experience, then it is possible for you to change the experience with the input.
Beautiful.
So I'll give you two examples. In some hotels, if you go, they create a repetitive experience for the customers. They create a similar kind of dish again and again and again and again and again and again and again. So there is a process, there is a formula that they adopt. Similarly, for a different kind of experience, there is a process.
So could I say this like as you always say, there is no failure, there's only feedback. Could you
That's the NLP line. Okay, that's an NLP line. Definitely, there is a feedback. I want to go and explain one more aspect of this, which is beyond all this, which is completely beyond this. Recently, everybody have witnessed the cricket match with India and Pakistan. Okay, tell me what has changed in that last over.
victory?
It is victory for India.
Yeah, victory for India.
Look at it from the other country's perspective.
It's a
Had
loss for them.
so see, look at it. If it has been something, we if we do something wrong, okay, if we fail to capitalize the way we have capitalized, then how we will look at it? What is the difference? There is no difference. It is only the perspective has changed. So for that particular over, okay, there are three people involved in this over from India's perspective. Virat Kohli, okay, there is Ravichandran Ashwin and Dinesh Karthik. There are three players involved from our side in the last over, if I remember correctly. I don't know about Hardik Pandya. I think he left a little bit ahead. So, what is that change? What has that changed? What is the one thing that has changed?
Um, they did not give up.
No. Exactly, I'll tell you the recipe. Exactly. If you listen to there are two perspectives to this. One simple perspective is Virat Kohli said in his interview again and again. So at that time when it was looking impossible, he said to himself, he was talking to himself that I can do it. It is achievable. Now that strong message which has gone into the consciousness that has made the ballers from the other side to do the mistakes. It is not only that what he performs, it is also the consciousness affecting on the other side equally.
All right. So everything is aligned for him.
Yes, exactly. You have the power to drive the consciousness the way you want to drive. So you have
How
aligned.
beautifully explained.
So if you are the bowler, okay, take an example. Suppose India is bowling at that time, any other bowler is bowling. Let us not understand what the Pakistan is. Okay, just understand that bowler is bowling. That's a part of the consciousness. So that consciousness is making mistake because somebody has driven it, and this person
So
has.
this is also conscious. This is also conscious.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'll come back to you to understand that. So when this person who is bowling has somewhere lost the control to the power of that particular vibration in the frequency. So to be most precise, the bowler has given up his power to that higher vibrational consciousness of the Virat Kohli.
Exactly. So both is consciousness. Who drives who drives the I mean, who
Yes,
drives and who
yes,
has the higher vibration.
yes. If you understand this vibrational frequency methods, that is where you can control and command everything in the life. So in
Okay.
your life
That,
game, it is in your situation. Do not blame on the others. It is your incapability to drive the consciousness will give you the outcome that the way you have directed the consciousness towards.
so this brings me to another question, but we'll take it in another episode, in the next episode of Manthan. I Sylvia, thank you for the message. Sylvia says it's beautiful. And when the mystic is there, everything is beautiful. He always keeps telling me, you keep using this, this adjective, beautiful, beautiful, all that. I I see God as beautiful and I see him as beautiful. So what do I do? So that's why it's beautiful. So we had a wonderful, we had a beautiful episode of Manthan. And happy Diwali, happy New Year to all of you. I guess today you have all got that nectar which you were waiting for. So with this, we end this episode today and promise to come back next Wednesday, 8 p.m. only on YouTube. Only on YouTube. Please, please subscribe to the channel, that is P Pure Energy, all in caps, and mark the notification. We will not be coming on all the platforms because it gets too much for us
So
to, take up the questions from all the spaces.
no, it is our request to all the people who are watching us on the Facebook, Twitter, or your Facebook page, my Facebook page, or PP Energy's
Mhm.
Facebook page.
Yeah.
We request you to be on the YouTube from the next time.
We would want to align the manthan in one place. So we are directing the consciousness to please help us and support. Come to YouTube channel. How does
Sorry,
that?
Shri, you
We're
never
closing.
say help. You never request, see.
I
You
command.
never.
I command.
You have the power to command.
I command I command the universe to get all the people on the YouTube channel for us for Manthan, because is also the Manthan is also a part. I mean, Manthan is an initiative by the consciousness, for the consciousness, and with the consciousness. So that's all for today. Have a fantastic, fabulous, marvelous, magical day. आप जब भी ये वीडियो देखें आपका दिन ब्यूटीफुल शुभ और मैजिकल हो. Happy Diwali, Happy New Year, Happy Bhai Dooj, and all happy to everybody. Keep smiling. That's the beautiful jewelry that you can wear. Gold, silver तो पहनो, but smile भी पहन के रहो. Thank you very much.